Hello and welcome back, everybody, for another day of JB Pro League Female Number 1. Now, I am Affinity. You may have caught me around if you've been watching some of the open qualifiers, but we are here now in the main event. We have whittled it down from the many teams, nearly 40 different teams that we saw compete in the open qualifiers to our top 8. And now we've got some of those best teams coming on in here. Now, it's going to be seed number 2, which is Big EQUIPA. They came second place in that first open qualifier versus Confidence, who we only saw qualify 2 days ago. They qualified on Sunday, winning out open qualifier number 4, putting them in 7th seed. So definitely feeling a little bit one-sided this match, dare I say. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to be a run over, though. Big EQUIPA are definitely the team that everyone's got their eye on this event. And they're one of the few orgs that's remained within the women's scene. They're one of the few orgs that have still got players signed to them and competing. Now, there have been some roster changes. If maybe you are returning here after watching and catching a little bit of maybe ESL Impact Season 8, maybe some of the other, satellite tournaments in the women's scene, Big EQUIPA has a little bit of a different look going on right now. Now, we saw a couple of players. We saw Kyosa take a step away. We saw Viku actually move over to the ex-Imperial Valkyries team, now known as Pigeons. So they've brought on 2 new players. AIM, hailing from the UK, and Socia, who is another amazing pickup that I think a lot of people may have seen around on other teams, but it's definitely underrated. And hailing from the CIS super talent pool, right? So this is a Big EQUIPA that's looking a little bit different. They've had a little bit more time to settle into this roster, but maybe my worry is that they've not had as many chances to put in the reps in officials as we've seen from Confidence. Confidence, of course, played in that first open qualifier. The Big EQUIPA stormed through, came second, of course, losing to Pigeons, but they only had to play in one qualifier. Confidence got knocked out in round 1 of qualifier 1. They got knocked out in round 2 in qualifiers 2 and 3. And then they won the whole damn thing in qualifier number 4, which means they have played a lot of games. In fact, they played every Saturday and Sunday, almost all day, every day for the last 4 weekends straight. So they've really had a chance to sort of consolidate and build up this team a little bit. And let me tell you, they are looking mechanically incredible here. We've got a veto ready, I think. Now, I'll put my hands up. I spoiled it a little bit for myself earlier. But let's take a little bit of a look. We're going to see the Inferno ban coming on through from Confident. Now, this is a map that we haven't actually seen them play. We've seen them play, I think this is one of only 2 maps that we haven't actually seen them play. And it's a map that we've seen a lot from the Big EQUIPA lineup. And we've actually seen fairly good results from as well. So this was kind of, in my mind, sort of a no-brainer. Nuke being banned by Big EQUIPA. Here's where I've got a couple of questions. Now, we've seen them banning it out a bit more often recently, but, and I'm going to call him out here, their team manager, Alpenhirsch, Mr. Alpha himself, was chatting to me the other day. I was singing praises of a North American team's nuke, and he said, what about our nuke? And I was like, it's good. It's very good, actually, and it is, but we've not been seeing them play it very much. And against a team like Confidence, who's been very happy to pick into it and has had generally very good results, maybe this is a good one, but it still makes me sad to see, because Big EQUIPA do have an absolutely incredible nuke. Maybe just trying to tweak a little bit since the roster changes, so it's not quite ready yet, but I'm hoping later in the year we see it come on out. Anubis being a pick from Confidence. They have played it so many times in this tournament. In fact, I think I was going back trying to find out how many times they'd played it, and I kind of lost count somewhere along the line. Ancient being the pick from Big EQUIPA. Again, 0 surprises there for me. A map that they are more than happy to pick into. They've been picking it in external tournaments as well. We saw them playing CCT. They played it versus Los Cagutas, and I believe they played it versus Nexus as well. Now, the results weren't quite maybe what we were hoping for, but it does show a level of confidence in the fact that they've been putting in the repetitions on this and that they are ready to go and drilled on this map, and we've seen it be very successful for them in the one qualifier we have got to see them play in. The Overpass ban, the Dust 2 ban, I think nothing too special there. I think the Dust 2 ban being the pick there over Mirage is a shout. Dust 2 being another map that Confidence has played a heck of a lot of over the qualifiers, so if you can lean it towards Mirage, they've got a little bit less experience on that definitely bodes in your favor. And again, a Mirage, a map that we've seen a lot from Big EQUIPA on. And a lot of really good stuff from them on there. So the veto kind of to be expected there, nothing out of the ordinary. But I think it's a veto that very much they align with each other in a lot of places. That this is probably the most equitable, most fair veto that we could have coming into this one. So I'm quite excited for that one. My predictions going into this, I do think it's going to be a big EQUIPA 2-0 here. I think they're just a team that's looking really strong. I think they're a team that is realistically the one that everyone's looking to be. And yes, they did lose out. They didn't quite come in first place on the qualifier. They came through. But it does very much feel like they're the team that everyone's demo reviewing, that they're the team that everyone's VOD reviewing, that all eyes are on them coming into the season, especially with how they ended off last year, with them picking up, Astra being Player of the Year at the HLTV Awards for the women's scene, Big EQUIPA being listed as the Team of the Year as well, despite only really being in the iteration that was award winning and tournament winning for half of the year. It showed just how strong they were looking, that in half a year they managed to put themselves in first place over all of the other teams that hadn't made these changes. So they're definitely the team to beat. I think one of the things that we really want to take a look at when we come into this is the Battle of the Orps. This is going to be a really exciting one for me. It's going to be on the side of Confidence, Cold Hurt. Now, I put a tweet out the other day listing some of the players I think maybe a little bit underrated, players that haven't had necessarily the spotlight shone on them as much as I think they deserve, and that this year it really could be their year. And Cold Hurt was at the top of my list. She's been incredibly strong from what we've seen, not just this year, but of course carrying momentum over from the end of last year where they had some really good results. And we saw them playing in a lot of tournaments and a lot of qualifiers, versus Astra on the side of Big EQUIPA. Now, Viku was their AWPA in 2025, and I won't lie to you, she's absolutely insane. She was also nominated for one of the Players of the Year. But Astra is now back on the AWP. She took a step away to let Viku AWP, but she's back, and she's better than ever, mind you. She's always been good on it, but she has just been hitting otherworldly shots recently. So I think the Battle of the AWPs is going to be quite an interesting one to watch here. But we'll see as we head into the series, because all of this speculation, it's fine. But let's get into the actual series and put all of that speculation to bed with actual cold, hard results. And Mitori starting us off with some KFC, massacring a chicken, a sacrifice for good luck, maybe. And now we head slowly. Hank are going to be the one clearing this out. ICT is waiting, very patient, expecting a bigger keeper push potentially. A little bit of damage done. M-San holding the doors in mid. There's the swing on out. The Flash Master immaculate. Hanka spots the shadow. It looks maybe like she DC didn't react there. And that is a bit unfortunate, because even a pick there would have made life so much better, so much easier if Astra up top. Smoke comes on over. She knows she just has to fall back, and I think they're going to have to wait the smoke on out because the players from mid don't have a safe passage in. Astra has no window of vision up there from heaven. Look at this. Stormy wants no part of this. Patient. Sophia is going to punish the overextension. She's good for 2, and that keeps the numbers equal. Ames found 1, and now it's just ICT is left. An absolutely insane player trying to bait her on out here. They know exactly where she is. Found the first, and they're just going to have to stick the defuse. There's not really time. Aim's just going to hold it. The knife's coming on out. Swiping, but she has no idea where Aim is. Finds the first, connects it, and oh, the long defuse. Just a little bit too much to ask there. Aim, you got to respect the confidence just to go for it. Not many other options, but confidence. There's only so many places, and with the time there to work with, loads of time to go swinging and shanking in the dark. And yeah, there is going to be a tech pause. I figured something looked a little bit off with Hanka not reacting to the players there. And could have been round defining, could have been the player to stop the flood, whittle down the numbers, enough to get the defuse on through. But alas, not meant to be. CS2 moment, we all say to ourselves in unison. Now, there won't be a buy here from Big EQUIPA. I'm expecting confidence. I don't know what I'm expecting from them. They could go one of two ways in this. Quite a lot of the time we see them actually quite patient on these rounds. They're a team that has a lot of firepower and has been known, especially when they're on an eco up against a 4-buy, to go for some really crazy sort of eco rounds. But I'm expecting a little bit slow, a little bit methodical, knowing that Big EQUIPA will punish any overextensions. But actually, no, who am I kidding? Of course Big EQUIPA are going to force. It's Big EQUIPA. Astra gonna be on that 5-7. Ooh, actually drops back down to just being on the US. No, okay, there she go. I was gonna say if she's dropped back down to get even more utility, the selfless leader that she is, and I'm assuming that she's probably still calling. I don't have confirmation though. I think we should be ready to go. Yep. Unpaused. And everyone back in the server, ready. Now, this could be a huge round for Bigger Keeper to win, or this could be the blow that gives confidence a little bit of a head start here. Also interesting to note here that Bigger Keeper's chosen to start on the CT side. Okay, aim. Holding the line, lovely position here. As we said, confidence, they're not going to overextend here. Slowly but surely clearing the space on out. I know somebody is going to be posted up here, often going to be M-San. Hold her around the corner. Ooh, spots the first. And they're going to flood on in, trying to lure them away so that Hanker can pounce. Hanker's going to find both of them, actually. Stormy, HE goes over. Averona, they really need to find something here. Icy Tears is flanking, so if they can stop even one of them, Icy Tears for pounds, but the footsteps heard. Aim's able to swivel back around, takes them down, and now it's just Averona left, and she is stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's no escape. Two players either side of her away, and Bigger Keeper, a huge round to find there. Investing into that second and stopping confidence in their tracks. Yeah, I am a little bit surprised at Bigger Keeper's decision to start CT side on this one. But I mean, with a round like that, that's really going to set the tempo for us, and it should be an opportunity for them to take the lead here. We did say confidence a little crazy in some of these rounds. Oh, the flash devastating for both sides. Nobody can see, but aim. Slightly better gun for the spraying wildly in the dark here. Oh, trying to fire off a shot before the smoke blossoms, but Astra's going to use that window as well. Stormy coming on up. Stormy also taken down there brutally. Astra, the queen of mid. Somebody might be up in this corner here. Ooh, spotted the player backside, and actually second prong of that defense, they're not even needed. M-San's just going to win on out the fight. Averona knows that Astra has caused them so much problem in mid. So on the cross, just a quick look, but doesn't want to hang around for too long, and you wouldn't, knowing who's on the other side. But look at this from Hanker. She's going to be that A main menace, and she's taken so much space. Averona's not expecting her there. And a second round to be found, and the force buy put to rest. And now they will have to eco again. They've really not got the money here. Actually, absolutely nothing bought here. A flash has been bought here from Icy Tears. Although from what we saw in Canal's last round, that could be a blessing and a curse for both sides, really. Straight B main hit. Actually, no, they've decided to divert back towards mid. Now, something's quite interesting here about how Bigger Keeper are playing this Anubis is that there's somebody else posting up on mid every round, which is keeping it fresh as well, and it's keeping it difficult to guess what's going on. See, Astra's headed on over to that A site, already pushed out A main. Socia spray down, only going to find one, does get overrun, but that's a lot of information to work with. Push on forward, clear left, head right. Aim going to have a look in towards B main, knowing that they've got a problem in mid. All going to spot the shoulder, clean kill. M-San spun around, has her 6. And all players start toppling. Mitori, last player left standing. There's nowhere really to go. Yes, you've got the bomb on your back, but, I mean, you've not got a clear sight either way. Looking maybe to wrap in towards A. But with 8 health, I mean... Sorry, 10 health. Not that that makes it much better at all, really. Hanka's here, waiting. Astra's making her way back round, clearing one out here as well. But that's it. All you need, a single bullet would have done the trick, but a headshot, why not? Salt on the wounds. And a storming lead here for big EQUIPA off the back of that conversion round being stolen away. And it has meant that Confident still haven't been able to get full AKs. There's a lot of girls still hanging around here. Icy Tears missing a little bit of utility. It should be a good enough buy to get the job done, but alas, Astra's on the AWP already, and that's going to be shutting some things down. Interested to see where it's looking to head. I'm assuming going to go peak A main. Confident play here. Unfortunately, not too many of them hanging around for it to find maybe too much early round impact. Msan now the player in mid picking up the slack. Who's going to come on over the top? But Msan's not peeking. Msan wants no part in an early fight, knows that Confidence like to take this mid control. Well, if they've done their homework, which this is a team that absolutely has, they'll know that mid control